Airport, there are no items, new business, no items, old business is Timber Advisory Committee Resolution number 16-1130.
We have incorporated, the changes based on the work session that we had, a couple weeks ago. And basically it is to set up an, advisory, committee. That's what the resolution is for. We've got a red line version of some of the changes that, we made to our initial draft resolution. We have the application, and then we've added the draft procedures, and some adjustments were made in the draft procedures when we were working on the advisory committee, so we've incorporated those same changes, here. The, idea is that the advisory committee would help to prioritize timber issues that the port should be involved with. It would provide ideas on how the port can support the timber industry to achieve a greater economic impact in our community. They could provide us information on industry trends and concerns, information on legislation and other regulations affecting the timber industry, information to help with increased timber harvest, other policy positions that the port may want to take a position on, could be recommended, could be reviewed by this committee, and they could request recommendations, as well as looking at things like mass timber, CLT, other advanced wood products, and the timber supply, putting together what does it take to actually bring that forward and use that as an economic initiative in our community to help try to create a roadmap on that. And they could do other work as directed by the commission. We laid out a timeline that if whatever additional changes may come out of this meeting, we could incorporate them, and the idea is that if we adopted the resolution at today's meeting, we could have an application due date by June 17th, provide a week to review those applications, and then at the June 27th meeting, the commission could appoint for the members to the Timber Advisory Committee, and then they would have time to get organized and hopefully have their first committee meeting sometime in mid-July, late July. So at this point, it's really to provide the commission an opportunity to review and revise, and then make a motion to introduce a resolution at that point.
Were you able to make the changes that we talked about in just the work session this morning?
This morning, were you able to get that change in the resolution?
Yes.
Okay. So that was, this morning, the only change we had was on the workout.
Yeah, one more, potentially. Potentially. Under environmental,
Is this on what part?
this would be underneath the,
structure.
yeah, under purpose, mass timber products. Wait a minute. Timber issues to a kind
It's
of.
the last one under purpose called environment.
Yeah, so purpose there, but it doesn't, it's not here though, under this.
It's not in the resolution,
Yeah, it's not in the resolution itself. So we've got, here we don't have the structure of membership, it just, and was that the intent for the resolution?
It's like page 2, which is certainly omitted.
Admitted? Yes.
Only thing I can gather.
Yeah.
Goes from 1 to 3.
Okay.
Do you have the full resolution in your packet for signing?
So, assuming that what is on, page 10A4 is what is the intent for page 2 of the resolution, under environmental, I propose that we add carbon sequestration to that as a topic area. And this weekend, I met with Senator Hargrove, a representative from the Washington Farm and Forestry Association, representative from Washington Forest Protection Association, and Carol Johnson from NOTAC, and we talked about the future of the state's clean air rule, the governor's clean air rule, and potential future legislation that's being discussed in I-732 that's on the ballot, which is a carbon tax, but that there, as a county and as a port that is reliant upon the forestry sector, that we should be advocating for a position that allows carbon sequestration to receive value in that whole environment. And that was something that Senator Hargrove adamantly said we should pursue. I talked about this at the Forks meeting that we had. So, and one of the areas that we talked about is adding that to a topic of conversation for them to give us some input on as a port under as an area of discussion and input to the port.
So you want to add that underneath environmental?
Yes, a third bullet in carbon sequestration. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's an appropriate topic for them to, I wanna leave it to them
Mhm.
to decide what things they want to focus on with
Mhm.
guidance from us.
With guidance from us.
Right,
And,
right.
cause that's a highly scientific driven, technical, and that may
Well,
not
they
be
have-
right in their wheelhouse as
Well, there
other
are,
timber
there,
stuff.
there are, scientific reports that are done by the University of Washington and Quorum and different entities that they all have those life cycle analysis reports, and they want to integrate that science into the policy programs that are being discussed, so that again, forestry has a, is receiving some value in that process.
I think it's a very important
Mhm.
topic.
Because of the way that trees, basically, it's Mother Nature's natural absorption tool to sink carbon and then to put it into either the built environment or into cabinetry products. So that's the one addition I would like to see when someone provides a motion.
I will move to introduce resolution number 1611-30 to establish the Timber Advisory Committee and to add the line carbon sequestration under environmental.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, any discussion?
Yes.
Yes.
This is such an important area for our whole community, and there are so many different facets to it. It is, I think it's a very good idea to get outside experts to advise the port on all of these different areas. Our staff is stretched very thin, but even under normal times, I think it's very important, as the county has a planning commission that reviews things and researches and then provides recommendations to the county commissioners. This is just as important between policy, mass timber products, carbon sequestration, legislation, timber harvest, arrearages, etc. There are so many different facets. These guys, I'm sure, will need to meet more than quarterly.
Okay, any further discussion? We have a motion and a second to introduce resolution 16-1130. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And the motion carries unanimously to introduce resolution. I'll entertain a motion to adopt resolution number 16-1130.
I will move to adopt resolution number 16-1130 as introduced.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And again, the motion carries unanimously.